Rock, everybody in the whole cell block was dancing to the jailhouse rock. Everybody in the whole cell block was dancing to the
Welcome to all of you. I would like to thank everyone who has joined us this evening to celebrate the graduation of West Leyden High School's class of 2025. Before we get started, we would like to ask that at this time you please silence your cell phones. Thank you. Now I'd like to ask you to please rise and join the Leyden High School Band under the direction of Mr. Jake Walker, Miss Caitlin Wilkes, and Miss Stacy Cunningham in the singing of our national anthem. Students, please turn and face the flag.
Thank you for that amazing performance. You may have a seat. Good evening, everyone. My name is Arturo Centeno, and I'm truly honored to serve in my third year as principal at West Leyden High School. Tonight, we are gathered in celebration at the beautiful Rosemont Theater, a venue worthy of significance of this moment. We are here because of the generosity to Mayor Bradley Stevens and the Village of Rosemont, whose support allows us to enjoy this graduation in such an elegant and unforgettable setting. Let's take a moment to express our heartfelt appreciation. I would also like to thank Pat Nagel, Executive Director of Rosemont Theater, along with the Director of Operations and the talented crew behind the scenes. Their hard work and attention to detail elevates this evening for all of us. Please join me in thanking them as well. As tradition here in Leyden, we would like to begin by honoring a few members of our faculty who are retiring after several years of dedicated service. First, Mr. Rick Van Rooyen, a treasured member of our Special Education Department. Rick, would you please stand? Mr. Van Rooyen has had a remarkable journey. Before joining Leyden in 2000, he spent over a decade as a business owner and wrestling coach at Niles North High School. Driven by a deep desire to serve students with diverse learning needs, he went to night school to earn his master's degree in special education. Since joining Leyden, he has taught nearly every special education course we offer, even finding ways to make algebra and geometry accessible to all learners. He coached wrestling for 7 years and led the special education department for 3. Rick, thank you for your years of commitment, your wisdom, and your steady hand you've offered students and colleagues alike. Enjoy your next chapter, traveling with your wife and restoring that 1971 Mustang. Congratulations. And next, we honor Mr. Steve Lappy, a cornerstone of the art department for over 30 years. Steve, would you please stand? Steve did his student teaching at West under Alice Zielinski. Apparently they liked him enough that they hired him at East for the following school year. He spent 5 years at East Campus and then moved to the West Campus thereafter. Steve has been more than a teacher. He's been a mentor, a guide, and a source of inspiration for students to explore their creativity and passion through visual expression. Steve, thank you for helping students see the world and themselves through an artist's lens. In retirement, he'll be fishing, painting, and hanging out with his wife, Rachel, and daughter, Reagan. Congratulations, Steve. Now I'd like to share a few thoughts with the graduating class of 2025 in a message I call, Dear Senior, Cherish Your First. To our incredible graduates, congratulations. Today marks a first, your first high school graduation, and while it may be the first, it certainly will not be your last celebration of success. This evening, I speak to you not only as your principal, but as a dad. Tomorrow, I will sit in the audience as my daughter walks across her own graduation stage. Watching her journey has reminded me of the power, the beauty, and the impact of all of our firsts. I wrote her a letter tonight, and I'd like to share part of it with you. I hope you see yourselves in her story too. Dear Ellie, I love you so much, Mija. As I sit down to write this letter, I'm filled with so many emotions. As your dad, I know that expressing my feelings doesn't always come easy for me, but today I want to try. I think back to when you were just 4 years old, the first time on stage during your dance recital. You were a little offbeat from everyone else, and while the whole world, including myself, thought it was adorable, a part of me wanted to jump up on stage and help you. But you didn't need me. You figured it out and finished your dance strong. Then there was a softball game in 3rd grade, the first time you got hit by a pitch. You dropped to the ground crying, and I almost ran out to the field to rub your elbow and tell you everything would be okay. But instead, you stood up, wiped your tears, and walked to first base with courage. I remember 6th grade, the first time girls made fun of you for not looking like them. It broke my heart. I wanted to protect you from the pain, but instead you talked through it with your mom and found strength in the experience. You grew from it. How about the first time you got cut from something? You cried for hours. You didn't make the orchestra's dance team your freshman year, and I saw how much it hurt you. You cried for hours, and all I could do was sit with you, hug you, and rub your back. I wanted to pick up the phone and call the director myself, but you didn't let that setback stop you. Instead, you became a 3-sport athlete every year in high school, showing your resilience and determination. How about the first time you made a mistake? I was a bit disappointed, but instead we had a long conversation in the car about making better choices in life and not letting your peers influence you. We cried, talked about better choices, and you promised to think more about your impact, and you did. And then there was the first time you found somebody you liked. I was concerned, what father wouldn't be? But I chose to support you, hoping that our relationship has shown you what it means to have someone in your corner who truly cares, respects, and encourages you. Ellie, you have grown into a wonderful young woman, and I couldn't be more proud of who you are. As you step into this next chapter of life, do it the way you've always have, with a plan and the strength to adapt when things change. Know that I will always be behind you, cheering you on, ready to step in when you need me, but always trusting you to find your own way. With all my love, Dad. To the class of 2025, my message to you is this: cherish your firsts. They are often uncomfortable, sometimes scary, but they are where you grow. And remember, your firsts don't have to be your last. It may be your first moment in the spotlight, but it won't be your last impact on the world. Listen with your heart, find your tribe, and never give up. As Leyden Eagles, you have been given the opportunity for success, so be bold enough to dream the impossible. Be the first in your family to go to college, the first to launch a business, the first to teach, to lead, to cure, to innovate. Be the first to stand up for someone, the first to extend kindness, and the first to say, I'll try. And as you go into this world, remember this: the people who you love the most were there for your first victories, your first challenges, and they're still here tonight cheering you on. The world awaits you, and leave a Westlight mark wherever you go. Congratulations, class of 2025, and go Eagles! And now I'd like to welcome Dr. Poliak, our district superintendent, presenting his commencement speech, 100 Years.
Good evening. On behalf of the school board, administration, faculty, and staff at Leyden, I'd like to welcome all of you to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2025. It always feels good to be here at the end of the year in the beautiful Rosemont Theater. We're here tonight to celebrate each and every one of you. This is an extra special year, as we've been able to celebrate Leyden's 100th birthday. In addition to our normal events and traditions, we featured a homecoming concert with Jonathan Kane from Journey, a special drone show following the final home football game of the year, a gala and scholarship fundraiser at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, and just this past weekend, we held a community picnic in partnership with all of our elementary schools and our future Eagles. I'd like to highlight a couple changes to our ceremony tonight. First of all, we've partnered with Triton College to create an opportunity for a dual degree program. A number of our students started attending Triton College during their junior and senior years and will graduate tonight with both their high school diploma and their associate's degree from Triton. They are notated in the program. They're wearing a special cord. Let's give them a round of applause. Years ago, we restructured our daily schedule to include an Eagle time period that features small advisory groups. The idea was to take a high school of approximately 1,600 students and make it smaller. Students would be in groups of about 20 classmates and connect with the same adult leader 2 days a week for all 4 years. Those adults were here when they found their lockers freshman year, and they were here when they made their plans for after high school. We thought it was only fitting that those adults be the last hand that our students shake as they walk off stage. So our students will walk across the stage tonight in their advisory groups, pick up their diploma covers, and say goodbye to their advisors one last time. It is now my honor and pleasure to tell you about 2 amazing graduates from the class of 2025. I'd like to start with Madeline Medrano. Madeline, can you please stand? We all have our ups and downs over the years, and that is most certainly the case for Maddie Medrano. She was born in El Salvador, and her younger siblings were both born in the United States. When Maddie was 4 months old, her mother moved to the United States to find work and to start to build a better life. Over the next 6 years, Maddie lived with her grandmother in El Salvador. She told me that her grandmother has always been her rock and has been like a second mother to her. She remembers the conversation she had one day with her grandmother when she was 6 years old about joining her mother in the United States. After weeks of travel, she boarded a flight and landed in Michigan. Maddie's mother drove over from Illinois to pick her up, and she actually met her mother in person for the first time that day. Maddie gives huge credit to her mother. As a single mom of 3, she worked tirelessly to support her family. Maddie says that her mom modeled an amazing work ethic and drive and has always encouraged her to overcome challenges and follow her dreams. During her elementary years, Maddie moved around a bit, living in Melrose Park, Cicero, Palatine, and finally back in Melrose Park, where she is today. Her middle school years were spent at Rhodes School, and she had a wonderful experience there. She performed on stage in productions of Annie and Frozen, and she was a cheerleader. She thanks Miss Marzullo for supporting both of those programs. She played percussion in the band. She earned a golden sash for her high grade point average, and she was even selected to speak at the graduation ceremony. She took that positive momentum into her freshman year at West Leyden when she joined the CoLab program. She was earning honors credit and getting straight A's in all her classes. She was even playing the violin as part of Leyden's orchestra program. And as the world transitioned out of the pandemic and back to full-time school, Maddie's sophomore and junior years brought many challenges. She began having panic attacks from social anxiety. She experienced significant mental health challenges that required hospitalization on 2 different occasions to support her well-being. Throughout those experiences, she saw her grades and her attendance begin to suffer. When she thinks back to that time, she specifically called out Mr. Veltman for not giving up on her in honors physics. In addition, she talked at length about the impact that Miss Simzak had on her. In Maddie's words, her class became a safe place for me. Some days I would only want to go to school because her cheerful attitude would make my days feel a little more tolerable. With the help she received and her teachers and family by her side, Maddie turned a corner this past year. As a senior, her grades, her attendance, and her mental health got back on track. She's proud of herself and enjoying her friends and family. Her advice to all of you is, if you ever feel unloved or like you don't fit in, remember that it's temporary. One day you will find yourself somewhere you fit in, where you're cherished beyond doubt and your future is in your hands. As she graduates tonight, she's been accepted to the Triton Scholars Program, where she can attend the next 2 years for free as she studies to be an ultrasound technician. Before she can begin that chapter, Maddie has one more important step to take. She's in the process of finalizing her citizenship, and this summer, she'll meet with officials and complete that process. She has faith and remains hopeful that everything will go smoothly, and she'll be ready to start this exciting new phase of her life in August. Maddie, good luck with your meetings. We are incredibly proud of how far you've come and for all that you will continue to accomplish. Congratulations. And next, I'd like to introduce Alexia Beatriz Sanchez Franco. Can you please stand? Durango is the 4th largest state in Mexico, and it has many connections to our Leyden families. While Alexia was born in Whitewater, Wisconsin, she spent most of her first 16 years growing up in Durango. Her father is a pediatric surgeon, and her mother is a special education teacher. In recent years, her mother had spoken to her and her younger brother about moving to the United States for a better education and more opportunities. That conversation became a reality 2 years ago when they both made the trip to live with their aunt and uncle in North Lake, but their parents remained behind in Mexico. Alexia told me that the last 2 years have been difficult because she misses her family and she struggled at times to improve her English speaking skills. Over the summers, Alexia has been able to travel back to Mexico to visit with family. And I'm excited to say that her mother was able to make the trip here to be at the graduation ceremony tonight. She's come to enjoy living in North Lake. She said it's a strong community and she's made great friends. Leyden has offered her a better school, sports, and more opportunities than she could have ever had. She enjoys living near a park, likes hanging out with friends, going on walks, and attending family parties. She spent the first half of her junior year in the English Learner Program at East Leyden, and her final 3 semesters have all been at West Leyden. While here, she took advantage of every opportunity during those 2 years. She played water polo junior year and was a member of the swim team this year. She took part in student council, the L Club, National Honor Society, and the Service Club. Academically, she moved from those English learner classes quickly into honors courses, and she has completed AP Biology and AP Spanish Language. She would certainly like to give a shout out to Ms. Pregler for helping her get through AP Bio. While she felt she could master the content, she often had to deal with the added layer of language barriers with the material. Her advice to all of you is to find a good support group. Her newly made friends at Leyden encouraged her to join groups, and she was able to grow together with others instead of doing it all alone. This summer, Alexia will take part in our annual global service trip, where she will travel to Thailand and help volunteer at an elephant sanctuary. And when she gets back from that experience, she's off to Dominican University. She plans to study neuroscience and hopes to conduct research on the brain during her career. Alexia, we are so incredibly proud of you, and we're thankful that you were able to join us here at Leyden for the past 2 years. Enjoy the elephants, congratulations on your accomplishments, and good luck with the next chapter of your life. Now, in closing, to all of our graduates, all the adults at Leyden are better for knowing you, and we hope you can say the same. As you move on to the next phase of your lives, we will move on to start the next 100 years at Leyden. Speaking on behalf of all of us, to all of our graduates tonight, it's been an honor to be part of your life. We're so proud of all of you today. We wish you nothing but the best in your lives. And remember, no matter where you go, and no matter what you do, you will always be a Leyden Eagle. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Poliak. Now presenting our last commencement addresses are two outstanding student seniors, Aiden Joffrey, followed by Stephanie Morales Batista.
Hello, guys. Before coming up here today, Ms. Hernandez was like, if you're ever nervous, just clench your butt cheeks and it'll go away. But it's not seeming to work, so. Back to the speech. Thank you for the introduction. If you didn't hear, my name is Aiden Jaffrey, and I'd like to thank all the amazing staff and students for choosing and trusting me to be your commencement speaker. It truly is an honor. Now that we got all the formalities out of the way, I would like to show you a story. This is The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. I promise there won't be a book report after, so no need to worry. It has a few more than 600 words, 64 pages, and it's been in my life for as long as I can remember. Our family's copy is well loved. It has cracks on the cover, torn pages, and a few old crayon scribbles when I was convinced I was an artist. But even still, to this day, it is my all-time favorite book. If you've never heard of The Giving Tree, it's a story about a little boy and a tree that deeply cares for him. And at every stage of his life, the tree gives him whatever it can. A place to play under its branches, apples to sell at the market, and when the boy is old and frail, a stump to rest on. And even though it's a kid's book, I believe it teaches a valuable lesson about gratitude and unconditional love. When I think about people who have been like that tree in my life, the ones who gave without me asking, I think of my parents. You may have seen my mom taking pictures on the side of football games or making her world-famous cookies for the coaches, but I see her as my biggest inspiration. Before middle school, I was a nervous wreck, as I'm sure we all were. To little Aiden, walking into the halls of Mannheim Middle School seemed like a fate worse than death. When I was visibly shaking getting ready for the first day, my mom pulled me aside and said to me, "Take every opportunity you can. Join every club, every sport, and make every friend." I followed her advice, reluctantly, but slowly I gained friends. I started excelling in school, and most importantly, I gained confidence. This advice became my roots. It's the cornerstone of who I am, and I am forever grateful. She didn't help me because I was some superstar kid or had it all figured out. She said it because she believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself. That's unconditional love. It's cheering for you when you're scared, pushing you forward when you want to be held back. And I am forever grateful for all that. Thank you, Mom. While my mom gave me words that stuck with me, my dad shows his love in a very different way. He isn't really a pep talk kind of guy. The longest piece of advice I remember him giving me is "don't suck." He really has a way with words, I know. but his actions speak louder than any word ever could. He's my family's breadwinner, providing for us without asking for anything in return. Whether it was a long day at work, early morning helping with school projects, or supporting me from the stands, he was always there. Not for praise, not for recognition, but for me. That's his version of love. As I've grown, I've come to realize how lucky I am to have that kind of example. I didn't always think to say thank you in the moment, but now I see how much he gives, and that is something I will always be grateful for. Thank you, Dad. Neither of my parents asked for recognition. They just gave their time, effort, and love quietly and consistently. And the more I thought about it, and the more they helped me grow, I realized that they were my trees. Like in the story, they gave whatever they could whenever I needed it. A push, a ride, a hug, a lunch, a late night pep talk, or just a shoulder to cry on. And I know I'm not the only one. Every one of us sitting here today has had someone who gave, whether it was a teacher, a parent, a coach, a friend, or even a stranger who believed in us when we needed it. Graduation isn't just about what we've done. It's about the people who helped us get here. So today, I hope we can all take a moment to think about the people who've helped us grow, our own giving trees. And then after graduation, and as we move on to our future endeavors, we have the unique opportunity to take what we have learned, what we used to grow, and pass it on. Maybe that means mentoring someone younger, being a good listener, or just showing up when it matters. We don't have to change the world overnight, but we do have the opportunity to be someone else's steady branch, their place to lean, their reminder that they're not alone. So as we leave here today, diplomas in hand, eyes on the future, I hope we remember the people who gave us everything they could, and I hope we choose to do the same. Congratulations to the class of 2025. It is truly an honor to graduate with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Aiden. Good evening, faculty, staff, families, guests, and most importantly, my fellow graduates. My name is Stephanie Morales Bautista, and I'm honored to speak on behalf of the class of 2025. It's strange to be standing here, knowing our time as high school students is coming to an end. We've counted down to this moment for months, maybe even years, but now that it's here, it feels a little unreal. When I started writing this speech, I felt overwhelmed. How do you capture years of memories, growth, challenges in just a few minutes? The truth is, you can't. But I can try to reflect on what made this journey meaningful and possible. This journey hasn't been the same for all of us, but what brings us together today is not the path we took, but the fact that, in our own way, we made it here. It hasn't always been easy. There were moments when the road felt too steep and the end too far away. There were late nights filled with stress, early mornings that tested our willpower, and challenges that pushed us to our limits. But despite the doubts, the detours, and the difficulties, here we are today, stronger, wiser, and more capable than we imagined when we first started. This journey was never just about the destination. It was about growing along the way, learning to rise after a fall, and how we supported one another along the way. We came to understand that success isn't defined by having all the answers, but by the questions we dare to ask. It's built on resilience, fueled by perseverance, and sustained by the quiet courage to keep moving forward when the road gets hard. Each of us carry a different story, unique in its twists and turns, but every story shares one important truth. We are capable of more than we realize. Of course, we didn't take this journey alone. Along the way, we had our guiding lights, the people who stood beside us and reminded us we weren't alone. Our families, teachers, mentors, and friends. The ones who believed in us when we didn't fully believe in ourselves. So to all my friends, thank you for the laughs, the memories, and the support that made these years unforgettable. As well as everyone who's been part of this journey in any way, I'm grateful. I've been blessed to have so many people in my corner, especially my parents, who have been my strongest and most constant support. Their love and sacrifice are the foundation I stand on today. They've been my greatest teachers in life, reminding me in moments of self-doubt that setbacks are part of the process, that real growth doesn't happen in comfort zones, and that no matter how hard it got, I was never alone. To my parents, I thank them. I thank them for their unwavering support. They believed in me when I couldn't. They showed me that success isn't just measured by accomplishments, but by character, how we face challenges, and how we keep moving forward with kindness and humility. They taught me the value of an education isn't just in the grades we earn, but in the person we become. Every sacrifice, every long day, every hard decision they made brought me to this moment, and I will forever carry those lessons with me for the rest of my life. Everything I am and everything I ever hope to become begins with them. Therefore, it only feels right to say this part in the language that raised me, the language of home and of my parents' sacrifice. Mami, papi, gracias. Gracias por su amor incondicional, por cada palabra de aliento, por cada sacrificio silencioso. Gracias por dejar todo atrás, su tierra, su lengua, su comodidad, para darme oportunidades que ustedes nunca tuvieron. Gracias por enseñarme con su ejemplo que la verdadera fuerza se reconoce en la constancia sin esperar aplauso y que el amor más profundo no siempre se dice, se demuestra. Mami, tú eres mi guía, tu valentía, tu fe en mí y tu corazón generoso me han formado. Papi, tu constancia, tu humildad y tu esfuerzo diario me han enseñado lo que significa ser verdaderamente fuerte. Este logro no es solo mío, es nuestro. Los amo con todo mi corazón. As I honor my parents today, I hope each of you take a moment to honor your own guiding lights, the ones who stood by you, sacrificed for you, and believed in your potential when you couldn't see it yet. Now, as we look ahead, we're facing new roads, new challenges, and a future none of us can predict. But the beauty of this moment is that possibility lives in the unknown. With the strength we've built, the lessons we've learned, and the support we received, we are ready. Ready to fail and get back up. Ready to ask big questions. Ready to chase bold dreams. Ready to become who we are meant to be. The future isn't something we step into. It's something we shape day by day, choice by choice. So as we move on from this chapter, let's carry forward the values that got us here: resilience, kindness, courage, and community. Let's remember that what matters isn't just where we end up, but how we show up along the way. To the class of 2025, we are resilient, we are capable, we are ready to write the next chapter. Congratulations, we made it.
The Leyden Chamber Singers will now perform This Day under the direction of Miss Stacy Cunningham.
This day is fragile, soon it will end, and once
Thank you for that beautiful performance. Mr. Agnolfo, it is with great pleasure that I assure you that the members of the class of 2025 seated before us have met the requirements established by the Board of Education and are eligible to receive their diplomas. And now for the acceptance of the class by the President of the Board of Education, Mr. Gregory Agnolfo.
Thank you. It is an honor and privilege for me to be here tonight. This is an exciting time as we celebrate another milestone in the lives of Leyden's newest alumni. Congratulations, class of 2025. You are our Leyden pride. And before I go any further, another special thank you to Rosemont Mayor Bradley Stevens, also a Leyden alum, and to the people of Rosemont for allowing us to celebrate the graduation of these fine young men and women in such a wonderful place. Thank you, Mayor. So here we are, 100 years after Leyden's start as a four-year high school, from 1924, 1925 to 2024, 2025. Leyden didn't just start one day in 1924. Someone, somewhere had a vision that a four-year high school was needed to provide a quality education for a growing community. They then expressed their vision to someone else. The conversations grew larger and larger and more specific until legislation was passed creating Cook County District 212, now known as dear old Leyden, home of the Eagles. Leyden 212 is proof of what can happen when someone has an idea and starts a conversation. Although those visionaries back over 100 years ago could not foresee the world as it is today, the opportunities and technology far exceed anything they had back then. What they did know with certainty is that a quality education is key for young people to succeed. With that, and 100 years plus of everything in between, here you sit today. You are the newest group of what those dreamers over 100 years ago were thinking about. You are ready to strike out and make a difference. But if you think that at the age of 18 you are too young to make a difference, then I would like to introduce you to someone who knows firsthand that at the age of 18, you are well poised to step up and make a difference. Graduate seated behind you is Mr. Robert Marshall, a United States Marine Corps veteran with his wife, Collinette. Collinette, by the way, is an alum of West Leyden class of 1964. In fact, today she showed me she's wearing her class ring. Mr. Marshall enlisted into the United States Marine Corps on October 18th, 1943, at the age of 18, just a few months out of high school. He participated in action against the enemy in the Philippine Islands from June 27th, 1945 to September 5th, 1945, and then the occupation of China from October 8th, 1945 to April 27th, 1946. Staff Sergeant Marshall was discharged from the Marine Corps on June 6, 1946 at Great Lakes, just 1 month past his 21st birthday. To get home to Chicago, he was given a travel allowance of $1.60. He was paid $184.83 in full at the date of his discharge. Mr. Marshall's experiences were extreme, but it speaks volumes that even at the age of 18, you can make a difference. Graduates, you are ready to strike out and push your visions forward, to chart your pathway and begin your adult life. Seek out what will make you happy and successful. Set your goals, start conversations, and make a difference. Mr. Marshall has one thing in common with Leyden. 2 weeks ago, Bob Marshall celebrated his 100th birthday. Congratulations, Bob. Graduates seated behind you, along with the Marshalls, are your family, friends, teachers, and members of the Leyden community. They are here in support of you and to celebrate with you your successful high school career. So today, we collectively celebrate your achievements, we celebrate each other and our relationships and helping you succeed. As you know, you did not get here alone. There are so many to acknowledge who've had a hand in forming your character. Some who have been alongside you since birth, some that you've come to know at Leyden, and some you have never met. But each has played an essential role in your lives. Leyden encourages our students to dream the dream, provides them with the tools and opportunity to dream the dream, to live the dream. But there are only a few who have stood up and defended the dream. With all those who've worn our country's uniform, please stand and join Staff Sergeant Marshall so that we may thank you for your service. Army, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard, Air Force, Space, for all of our veterans. Where are our veterans in the house? Please stand. Thank you. You make all this possible. And please remember that Monday, May 26th, is Memorial Day, a day to remember those who have given their lives in defense of freedom, including several of our own Leyden alumni. And a special thank you to Leyden community's first responders. They are on the front line every single day, protecting us and keeping us safe. Would all of our first responders, police, fire, and EMS, please stand to be recognized, no matter what community you serve, and especially North Lake Officer John Pasoli. Where are our first responders? Thank you. Last August, West Junior Jonathan Guerrero was sworn in as a Leyden Student Board member for a 2-year term. He joined East Senior Adriel Carrera. Adriel will graduate tomorrow night. Although they are from different campuses, Jonathan and Adriel have collectively brought your student voice to the highest level of decision making. When the Board of Education needs to make a decision about what's best for the kids, we turn to Jonathan and Adriel for their input, and they have represented you very well. Thank you both, Adriel and Jonathan, for your long hours, your valuable insight, and collaboration. Thank you. Graduates, the rest of the people that I will acknowledge have one single common purpose, and that is to provide you with the best possible high school education with an abundance of quality experiences for you to grow physically, academically, and emotionally. Remember, if it wasn't for you, the student, Leyden High Schools would not exist. We believe that Leyden High Schools provides the best possible education for our students with a wide variety of opportunities, and that each individual student has unique talents, and those unique talents need to be identified, nurtured, and honed. Although they are small in numbers, their impact is immense. Leyden High Schools enjoys the best team of administrators in any school district anywhere. Administrators, thank you for your vision, passion, and your consistent visual over our most precious assets, our kids. Thank you, administrators. All right, I'm out of order. A major part of the success of these graduates is due to those who are with them throughout their high school careers. They have watched them grow into what they are today. Confident young men and women ready to take the next chapter in their lives. Would our West Leyden faculty please stand and be recognized? Where's our faculty? Please stand. Well done. You must be very proud of them. There are many others, members of the Leyden family, who work tirelessly for the success of Leyden students. No matter what the call, Leyden support staff was always there, collectively and collaboratively assisting the entire Leyden community, from an abundance of food preparation, building maintenance, security, transportation, technology, to organizing the buildings for anything and everything all year long. Remarkable simply doesn't cover their efforts. You've had a big impact on bringing these young men and women here tonight. Thank you, support staff. Leyden certainly would not be Leyden if it wasn't for all of the volunteers, those loyal Eagles who consistently give their time and talents and resources so young men and women like these graduates can have extra opportunities. Thank you to all the volunteers. Last, but certainly not least, a very special thank you to your neighbors, the taxpayers. We are very grateful that the Leyden community continues to support the innovative programs for the benefit of our students. Thank you, taxpayers. To the families of these new Leyden alumni, thank you for allowing us to be part of their lives. We share with you the commitment to excellence for their success, and I hope that we have met and exceeded your expectations. Graduates, those visionaries over 100 years ago would be extremely proud of you, as I am. Go put your mark on the world. Dr. Centeno, Dr. Poliak, on behalf of the Board of Education, it is with an abundance of LeydenPride that I accept these fine young men and women as Leyden High School's newest alumni, the West Leyden class of 2025. They bring honor to themselves, their families, and the entire Leyden community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ignafo. Before we proceed, class sponsors, prepare for graduation. We'd like to ask a member of our senior class to come up and present the request of the class of 2025, Gamaliel Graciano.
Welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2025. My classmates join me in thanking all of our family, friends, and teachers who are present to honor us tonight. Because this is such a special occasion for each and every one of us, we would like to make the special request. As the names of the graduates are announced, please hold your applause so that all the names can be heard in an equal and fair manner. With your help, we look forward to making this the most meaningful and respectful ceremony. Thank you. Bienvenidos a la ceremonia de graduación de la clase de 2025. Mis compañeros se unen conmigo para agradecer la presencia de nuestras familias, amigos y maestros que han venido para honrarnos esta noche. Por ser una ocasión tan especial para cada uno de nosotros, queremos hacerles una petición muy importante. Favor de no aplaudir mientras anuncian los nombres de los graduados. De esta forma, todos los nombres podrán ser escuchados de igual manera. Con su ayuda, lograremos que esta ceremonia sea muy significativa y respetable. Gracias.
Presenting diplomas this evening, we have two Board of Education members, Mr. James Lima and Mr. Joseph Trevino. Our readers, Mr. Rich Drobny and Ms. Elisa Flores.
Assisting with tonight's graduation ceremony are 4 students from the class of 2026, Yuret Contreras, Brittany Cruz, Eliza Araguin, and Vanessa Rosales.
Mr. Cartwright's advisory, Diego Barraza Villarreal.
Mr. Michael Anderson's advisory, Yesenia Alize Jacques.
Axel Bolaños.
Aiden Jaffrey.
Leah Ray Borras.
Ailani Jamaica.
Alisa Nicole Borowski.
Alejandra Jimenez.
Jonathan Botello.
Aaron Joshua Jones.
Eduardo Brito.
Isaiah Jaden Juarez.
Wences Gomez Jr.
Jennifer Juarez.
Miguel Ángel González Valleza.
Juan Joseph Salas.
Jocelyn González Rodríguez.
Nicholas Alejandro Salazar.
Bartek Francesc Gorski.
James Kingston Salazar.
Camayel Graciano.
Damian Jordan Salcedo.
Mia Guillén.
Neritzel Sheila Salvador.
Justin Gutierrez.
D'Angelo Arkel Sanchez.
Cristian Adrián Mandujano.
Jocelyn Sanchez.
Leonardo Márquez Lorente.
Jessica Sanchez.
Damián Alberto Martínez.
Andre Manuel da Silva Suarez.
Samantha Ángela Martínez.
Gabriel Ángel Vázquez.
Ashley Jeanette Martínez.
Giovanni Discareño Velázquez.
Brianna Lee Martínez.
Mr. Dario Chidas' advisory. Luis Baena Romero.
Dulce María Martínez.
Sasha Iliana Barrera.
Justine Martínez.
Jaciel Lee Barrera.
Ángel Ociel Martínez Salas.
Diego Barrera.
Jacqueline Martínez Zapata.
Saraí Bautista.
Yadira Jimena Mazo.
Pablo Antonio Beltrán.
Yajaira Magdalena Mazo.
Frankie Valdez.
José Daniel Mata.
Julio César Vadovinos.
Chelín Ani Matauska.
Adrián Valle.
Samari Yani Meléndez Donate.
Carlos Vanegas,
Giorgio Rios,
Ricardo Vanegas Nonato,
Sheila Ariel Simmons,
Nicholas Alder Vasquez,
Teacher Hammonds Advisory, Rodrigo Ramirez,
Jonathan Ricardo Vasquez,
Ángel Emanuel Rangel,
Michael Vasquez,
Chess Alexander Riddle,
Vanessa Villanueva,
Araceli Ragosa Ramos,
Samantha Mary Elizabeth Villaron,
Caleb Rayo, Luis Abraham Regalado,
Miss Lauren Cullens Advisory, Milen Bravo,
Luján Anaí Regalado,
Janelle Brianna Naja,
Brooke Luana Reith,
Lester Martinez Reyes,
Cristina Reyes Nevares,
Juan Carlos Gonzalez,
Carmen Alexandra Lola Richardson,
Jaden Nguyen,
Sonia Noemi Rios,
Alejandro Ramirez,
Shaden Humberto Rivera,
Montserrat Ramirez,
Tiana Rivera Romero,
Eileen Ramirez,
Etienne Alexis Rocha Vázquez,
Charlie Rose Ramos,
Alexander Rodríguez,
Jesus Ramos,
Camila Rodríguez,
Jonathan Ramos,
Roberto Romero Jr.,
Anthony Ramos,
Tailani Vélez,
Sedalia Precious Rodriguez,
Mr. Lang's Advisory, Sebastián Cabezas,
Catherine Rodriguez,
Michael Alexander Cabrera,
Alexis Rodriguez Vidal,
Kian Gianni Cabrera,
Emelise Denise Ruiz,
Jonathan Caldera,
Miss Kelly's Advisory, Fabian Ethan Rodriguez,
Brisa Angélica Camacho,
Gabriela Rodriguez,
Alan Cardoso,
Carla Rodriguez,
Guillermo Carranza,
Saúl Rodriguez,
Leonardo Carreño,
Valeria Rodriguez,
Abraham Josué Carrillo,
Kimberly Rodriguez,
Valentina Casas Favela,
Anthony Rojas,
Javier Diamano,
Jonathan Rosas,
Alexis Castro,
Alan Ruiz,
Samantha Elena Cervantes,
Ruben Max Ruiz.
Aster Delia Chaides,
Ángel Ruiz.
Alfredo Chavez III,
Samuel T. Termini.
Vanessa Chavez,
Aleida Ursino.
Diego Figueroa,
Jonathan Williams.
Jose de Jesus Fragoso Jr.,
Ryan Ian Womack.
Princess Morelos Trinidad,
Mr. Lappy's advisory. Caitlin Jasmine Castañeda.
Miss Lazar's advisory, Miguel Amado Chagoya,
Leslie Cecilia Fabila.
Jonathan Luis Colon,
Sheila Rosa Flores.
Aaron Joshua Contreras,
Alexander Flores.
Guadalupe Corona,
Montserrat Flores.
Abraham Corona,
Tanya Giselle Flores Bedoy.
Joshua Elian Corral,
Marisol Franco Garcia.
Abigail Laney Cortez,
Cesar Ojeda Jr.
Miriam Rocio Cruz,
Mario Eduardo Olayo.
Giselle Cruz,
Stephanie Oliva.
Rebecca Cruz Hernández,
Oliver Zaid Olivares Gutierrez.
Emilio Teresa Fajardo,
Michelle Orbe.
Dania Feliciano,
Sebastián Orbe.
Joshua Ferrer,
Olivia Annie Orloff.
Jelian Figueroa,
George Orozco Jr.
Jehan Mayel Figueroa,
Christopher Osnaya.
Jessica Arlieta Finnegan,
Stephanie Yesenia Palma.
Leana Sayuri Ruiz Taniega,
Diana Camila Terón Morales.
Miss McCumber's advisory, Anali Arredondo,
Keilani Torres.
David Arroyo,
Jonathan Trujillo.
Daniel Xavier Avalos,
Miss Likes Advisory. Melina Margaret Prude.
Armando Ávila Nápoles,
Jeffrey Pineda.
Jocelyn Avitia Nevarez,
Kareem Abdelatif.
Samantha Gallegos,
Daniel Ivan Rodriguez.
Valeria Michelle Galvez Mira,
Mr. McFadden's advisory.
Isabel Ariana Garcia,
Anthony Aguilar.
Brianna Cruz Garcia,
Eileen Alvarez.
Fidel Eduardo Garcia,
Lisette Alvarez.
Diana Isabel Garcia,
Gael Garcia.
Antonio Garcia,
Omar Garcia Guerrero.
Jonathan Garcia,
Nicholas Wayne Gattuso.
Ariana Garcia,
Mia Elijah Hernandez.
Mónica Hernández Wallace,
Janet Guadalupe Hernandez.
Giovanni Ortega,
Isabel Hernandez.
Mr. McSherry's advisory, Alexander Michael Jurasek,
Jorge Hernandez.
Jonathan Morel Lamas,
Jeremiah Hernandez.
Pablo Lamas,
Liliana Hernandez Wolas.
Angelis Lily Lau,
Isel Herrera.
Yalitza Mari Lazu,
Mia Herrera.
Antonio Daniel Lopez,
Mike Hill.
Andrea Lopez,
Veronica Maria Hoym.
Sade Lucho,
Julissa Hurtado Duarte.
Juan Diego Luján,
Jocelyn Hurtado Duarte.
Stephen Vu An Lu,
Iván Ocampo.
Andy Daniel Maldonado,
Iván Ortiz.
Jocelyn Guadalupe Marcos Payán,
Mr. Murphy's advisory.
Anthony Carmelo Mata,
Isaiah Daniels.
Daniel Enrique Mendoza,
Luis Antonio Diaz Jr.
Diamonique Yvette Mesa,
Emily Marie Diaz.
Ms. Navarre's advisory, Neo Alexander,
Marilyn Abacu Diaz.
Yadir de la Cruz,
José Matías Díaz.
Jocelyn Delgado,
Jaden Raúl Díaz.
Leonardo Delgado,
Liliana Díaz.
Ramón Diamano González,
Alondra Díaz.
Emma Elliott,
Emily Díaz.
Anaís González,
Rodrigo Díaz Jr.
Rose Maduska,
Sofía Díaz.
Joey Menar Delgado,
Isaiah Thomas Diblick.
Tanya Meraz,
Grace Gwendolyn Dillon.
Yubicela Mora,
Adrian Dominguez Jr.
María Guadalupe Morales Huerta,
Stephanie Dorado.
Jenny Moreno Ruiz,
Gabriel Manuel Durán.
Angélica Humilín,
Isaac Edward James Ernest.
Gabriel Urbina,
Haley Rose Esbjornsen.
Mayra Cassandra Yáñez Sánchez,
Alan Obed Palmerin.
Miss Salmon's Advisory, Denalisa Agüero,
Miguel Ángel Peñalosa.
Jamie Nicole Águila,
Jacqueline Isabel Peralta.
Fermín Aguilar,
Adrián Zamora.
Jocelyn Aguirre,
Mrs. Nix Advisory.
Ellen Marie Aldana,
Jocelyn Sanchez.
Aliana Grace Almodóvar,
Fernando Sánchez Rodríguez.
Carlos Alejandro Álvarez,
Alexia Beatriz Sánchez Franco.
Edison Gillian Álvarez,
José Santoyo Patiño.
Thomas John Anderson,
Christy Serrano.
Santos Andrade,
Caden Seymour.
Valeria María Aragón,
Fernando Sida.
Frank Rafael Aranda,
Luis Sosa.
Stefano Julián Andrino,
Maya Angela Soto.
Robert Paul Carranza,
Juan José Soto III.
Adamaris Joana Cuevas Mendoza,
David Soto.
Alondra García,
Sean Elliott Stavens.
Marisa Estela Ramírez Álvarez Escarpita,
Robert Yaroslav Switek.
Eva Madison Turasek,
Jack Edward Swantek.
Thank you. Ms. Talsma Advisory, Anaí Diaz,
Nicholas Gregory Swantek.
Abigail Diaz,
Alina Carmela Vaccaro.
Fabiola Paz,
Rishi Vadnerker.
Dinali Peña,
Mrs. Stembles Advisory.
Ruby Peña,
Yarixa Lopez Enriquez.
Magali Peñalosa Carreño,
Daisy Martinez.
Emily Jezebel Perez.
Gianna Mariah Medina.
Ivan Jose Perez.
Giselle Medina Contreras.
Carlos Perez.
Madeline Patricia Medrano Castillo.
Denise Pina.
Andrea Jimena Mendez.
Thomas William Pope III.
Diana Mesa Jimenez.
Kevin Puga Hernandez.
Joshua Raymond Mish.
Chris Roberto Puma Osorio.
Daniel Miranda III.
Osvaldo Quintana.
D'Angelo Miranda.
Christopher Rosendo Quispe.
Diana Yesenia Mireles.
Matthew Xavier Zarate.
Anaya Faith Molina.
Jonathan Adrian Zavala.
Briley Keelan Molina.
Ms. Rodriguez's advisory. Marcos Antonio Chavez.
Natalie Molina Diamano.
Eric Jordan Duran.
Carlos Monares.
Miguel Ángel Tinajero.
Melissa Morales.
Mr. Holthouse's advisory. Miguel Ángel Adame.
Stephanie Morales Bautista.
Lázaro Laszlo Águila.
Mr. Van Royen's advisory. Ángela Vanessa Delgado.
Melissa Cano.
Eric Diaz.
Jesús Yael Favela Herrera.
Emmanuel Escobedo.
Najwa Ari Jackson.
Ingrid Espinosa.
Landed Richard Cool.
Adrián Estrada.
Nicole Marie Martino Kruger.
Ángel España.
Rubí Lisette Reyes.
Hassan Croish. Tyler Robert Koenig. Jacqueline Marie Coit. Kaya Agata Kirch. Claudia Victoria Kuta. Julian Camilo Pachon. René Palacios Jr. Ricardo Pantoja. Luis Ángel Pérez Alvarado. Brandon Stephen Puente.
We thank all who took part in the ceremony this evening, our Board of Education, our superintendent, our administration, our students, faculty and staff, and our families. A special thanks to the music department for the beautiful music provided. As we start the recessional, we ask that the audience remain seated until the graduates have exited. You can then meet them in the lobby. The moment you've been waiting for. And now, will the class of 2025 please stand, turn and face the audience, move your tassels from right to left, you are now alumni of West Leyden High School. Congratulations. Congratulations, everybody. Mr. Walker, we're ready for our exit. All right, sponsors, we can go ahead and proceed out. Thank you. Everybody's gone.